Dr. Jamal Bryant responds to Donnie Swagger was what I was looking for. That's the response I was looking for. The response I was looking for. I heard Bishop Porter. I heard Freddie Haynes. I even heard the Bishop Sherry respond. I thought it was mediocre. I thought it was trying to be too politically correct. He tried. He did a good job. But Jamal Bryant's response is the one I was looking for. That's the one I was looking for. I would never disown my own for a bigot. If he can have years and years of sitting down that Sun Life, standing in the pulpit and preaching racism, division, why can anybody else call him out and speak against him when time is needed? How is he right? First of all, he don't have biblical authority to rebuke or call anybody out over who they voting for. Show me that authority in Scripture. All the Scripture I see concerning rebuking is got to do with the false teachers and the false doctrine that they are pushing and being deceitful for wicked gain. That's what the Bible says. His daddy built the empire off that very thing. Preaching the Bible, preaching for gain. The Bible is against that. He ain't never came out and rebuked his daddy. He has never come out and rebuked his daddy. He ain't never come out and rebuked any of them other rich hypocrites. Billionaire freeloaders. He ain't never done it. He ain't never did it. And he never rebuked himself because he reaping the reward of his daddy. He reaping the benefits of what his daddy did and started. His daddy built an empire off of preaching the Bible, which is directly forbidden. Has he ever came out and talked about that stuff? Has he ever came out and rebuked his daddy and everybody else around them that are living a good life off the back of God's people? That's a question. Since we're agreeing with Donnie Swagger's rebuke of the black church, let's go down that road. Has he ever rebuked his daddy for repeated sin? Has he ever rebuked himself? For the stuff he done did? A billionaire, or heir to a billion, I don't know how much money they got. I'm saying they're a billionaire. I'm sure they billionaires. He's reaping, he's living off that money. You think he's right? Show me Scripture where he's right. That's a wicked empire. That's a wicked empire. The Bible is directly against preaching for money, preaching for riches. Tell me I'm wrong. You can send me messages all you want to. I'm a psychiatrist. I see you got bipolar. Well, so be it. They got problems too. They got greed issues. They got exactly what Titus 1 say, preaching, being deceitful, preaching for gain, preaching for wicked money, filthy lucre. That's why the Bible called it filthy. Look, it's filthy. Money is filthy. For the love of money is the root of all evil. They done built the empire. Them same people that are saying Donnie Swagger is right, no lie detected. Well, what about his lifestyle? What about his dad? What about them in their wicked empire? If y'all know the Bible, I would like to think that y'all would agree. Is Jamal Bryant worthy of being a pastor? I don't think so. No, he emerged in sin. His own cousin preached against him. He's wrong too. So we're going to stand with Donnie Swagger over politics because y'all standing with Trump. You don't want to hear anybody say anything negative about Donald Trump and his sins. You think Donald Trump got policies? You think Donald Trump mind ain't wicked? We done had 4 years of Trump in office. What we were doing? Abusing his powers. Trying to do underhand. That's his life. That's who he is. That's why he got 34 convictions now. He been doing that stuff. That's who Donald Trump is. Y'all want us to ignore that stuff. Y'all want people to ignore that. Don't talk about the sins of Donald Trump. Don't talk about how Donald Trump don't line up. I heard that fake apostle A.R. Williams standing in the pulpit, leaning on that podium, trying to fix up Trump. They can go down the road and demeaning this woman, talking negative about her personally, spreading disinformation about her. Why is everybody else forbidding speaking the same way against Trump? That don't make no sense. Dr. Jamal Bryant stepped all in. That's what I was looking for. And I'm sure there's some more to come. There's some more to come. Y'all want to talk about we dividing this country. That man down there in Baton Rouge that hide from the society, that get chauffeured into church every day that will not walk down the street to try to encourage people to give their life to God in Baton Rouge. He ain't going out there. Don't tell me Donald Trump. Donnie Swagger will go out there in those streets of Baton Rouge or New Orleans and preach the gospel. He ain't doing it. He already said he ain't gonna do it. Why he ain't gonna do it? He's a rich billionaire. He ain't got to do it. He didn't go that far to say that, but that's what he was leading to. He's scared of the people. He's scared of the public. He's a rich celebrity. He feel he above the people. Why y'all going to a church sitting under a billionaire preacher family that have made their living off of the Bible when the Bible strictly forbids that? Let's talk about the real stuff. Let's talk about the real stuff. I told y'all, Dr. Jamal Bryant said it right. When it comes to social issue, racial issue, they won't speak out against it. They only react. They only react. And they react is coming from a bigotry standpoint. They sit back and wait and see what the black people gonna say. The black preachers gonna say. Then here they come. And their aim is to rebuttal against the black folks. That's all it is. That's all it is. And y'all are ignorant enough to fall for that crap. Y'all are ignorant enough to fall for it. They watch Newsmax. They watch Fox News. They watch Alex Jones. They very much indulge in all that false information, whatever. That man stood up in his pulpit and recited a letter that he wrote to Donald Trump, almost coming to tears. You shouldn't be that close to no man except your daddy, and it's still limited. Y'all tell me he right? That man is a full-fledged Donald Trump supporter. You think he gonna open his mouth and say anything against Donald Trump, even if it's constructive criticism? Can't do it. You're biased. If you're afraid to speak against all men in all sin, and you claim to be a preacher, you ain't a preacher. That's why I don't follow no billionaire, millionaire preachers. I don't follow no rich preachers who have made their money off the Bible. Y'all got to be blind and foolish to follow people like that. That man, he never worked a day in his life. Never. Never, ever. His dad ain't worked. Not since he been the Jimmy Swagger. They spiritual freeloaders. It don't matter. They got their own broadcasting company. They got a church. That don't mean nothing. That's a synagogue of Satan. They would not rightly divide the word of truth. Jesus Christ was and is against riches that's not gathered honestly. And you ain't gonna tell me that preaching the Bible is an honest way of getting rich when the Bible tell me it's not. I bet you in his lifetime he ain't never preached them scriptures. Ain't gonna preach them scriptures. They all on the take. They all for the take. They still collect the money from the poor people. They still do it. Man don't know. He don't know the first thing about going without. He don't know the first thing about struggling, but want to get up and act like he's so filled what everyday people are going through. Man, please. Man, please. I guarantee you, his house, his dad's house, and everybody else's house is all in the name of the church or under some other thing. They ain't see how they getting around paying taxes? See how they skirting around the government? And the Bible say, a righteous man will honor the law, pay his taxes. They got all sorts of things. They got all sorts of ways to hide money. Personal. He gonna have the nerve to open his mouth and come for the black church. No, we all the same. We all is one church, but we still a predominantly black church, predominantly white church, so on and so on. And y'all want us to believe that this man is coming from an honest perspective? Y'all really want us to believe that he's honest and really got the heart of God when he is living off of God people and have no remorse about it? Ain't never showed no video where they out there doing any sort of community missionary work. All in the pulpit, all on the radio. Everything is about bringing in the dollar. Ask the people in Baton Rouge. Ask the people in Louisiana. Ask the people down there in St. Gabriel. Ask the people if they have ever seen them out there preaching the gospel and feeding the poor. That's the mission of Christ, right? That's what Jesus said. I don't support Ms. Harris. If I decide to vote for her, it would be strictly on the basis of voting against Trump. Because I do not agree with a lot of their stuff they go along with. That's true. But at the end of the day, that guy, Donnie Swagger, was absolutely wrong. Who gave him that authority? You trying to rebuke something that the Bible don't even give authority to rebuke. Politics. That ain't what the scriptures say. That is not what the scriptures say to rebuke. That's coming from a self mode. You operate in self mode. You mad that it's a very, very possible, a good chance that woman is about to become the president of the United States. If she didn't have a chance, they wouldn't spend that much energy on her. If she didn't have a chance, they would not be spending that much energy on her. They see the polls. They see what the polls looking like. It's very close. That's why they turning up the heat. That's why they doing what they want to do. They trying to destroy this woman by any means necessary. But yet, everything is off limit to speak against Donald Trump. Candace Owens still out there trying to push the woman identity and call it a fake. They got all of them doing whatever they got to do to try to destroy the woman. But yet, people still voting for her, whites and blacks, and everybody. That's what they looking at. That's what they mad about. It's not about policies. Not really. Dr. Jamal stepped all in it, and I'm sure some more come. I don't endorse this type of foolishness. I don't endorse this type, but sometimes it's necessary. We're living in a society where you got to step out. The way I heard that man open rebuke, it didn't come from a right place. It came from a hatred standpoint. And ain't nobody about to tell me that I'm wrong or other black preachers are wrong when they call them a bigot. When they call them bigots. That's exactly how it came across. If that man were really honest about getting the church together, he done had plenty of time to call a meeting. They got every kind of thing, everything to their exposure to sit down and have a biblical discussion on politics in the Bible. Have they ever done it? Do it? No. Because they know they're going to be uncovered. They know most of them black preachers in the country, whoever come, going to run rings around them with that Bible. Donnie Swagger don't know the Bible. He don't know. Donnie Swagger don't really know the Bible. I've been listening to this man preaching for years. I heard other white preachers criticize his preaching. He really don't know. I heard him on the radio, on their Sunlight broadcast, they be discussing scriptures. He don't know half of the Bible. That man is out of his league. And according to the Bible, check it out. According to the Bible, the way they earned their money, the way they built their empire is directly against the Bible.